All right, so we're in this market. We have tight inventory. We've got buyers. Buyers feel that there's not enough assortment even among the listings that are out there. Let's say I'm a seller. As a realtor, I'm telling the seller, hey, you can look to buy another house and you can put an offer in that's contingent on the sale of your home. So you're not obligated to buy that house unless your home sells, right? But that's not always a great option, because when you make that offer, the seller on the other side is going to look at it and say, well, I don't necessarily want to wait for your house to sell and go through the rigmarole of 30 plus days where someone still may back out, fail to perform, whatever. And I don't want to be left out there because there's another number of issues in that scenario. So as a realtor on that side, they're being told that's not the best offer, except this one, even though it's a lower price. You could have the highest price offer with the contingency and you're going to get denied 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, it feels like contingency in our industry is just a bad word these days. And if you're competing to buy a house, and you just had one where it's high teens offer, and the last thing the listing agents wants to hear is a contingency. I feel the contingency in the listing agent's mind is what excuse? It's an excuse for not closing on my deal.
Right.
So the less excuses you have going into a deal, the stronger a buyer you are. So let's talk about why someone might have to have a contingency, right? They don't have enough liquidity to buy the new house, or they don't qualify to buy the new house and keep their old house.
Right.
And if you're looking for a new house, do you really want to sell your house not knowing if someone's going to buy it fast enough, what the sales price is going to be? You might be confused as to what to do. So we're pretty forward thinking in this industry and pretty lucky to have these guidelines. But we have some programs right now with limited down payment on a jumbo loan, where you could put 15% down up to $2 million. And we will actually allow you to disregard your debt ratio on your departing residence.
Now, real quick, if people out there are watching this video and they aren't in Los Angeles, 2 million sounds like a mega
governor's mansion.
Right. In Los Angeles, you need like $1 million usually to buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a suburban neighborhood.
Right. So, we look at it as, hey, a lot of banks are looking at, well, we're not going to let you buy the new house until you sell your old house because, you can't afford both. And it's the chicken before the egg. What do I do? How do I get out of this? Well, the solution could be this. You could put a minimal amount of down payment on your new house. And if your house is listed for sale during this transaction, we'll actually not count your debt ratios against you. So we're not even going to consider that debt as long as that house is listed, and you have a certain amount of assets, of course, to cover a certain amount of months of
This is a
payments.
problem. Not all lenders can do this. They're not going to just ignore the debt on the home that you might sell in the future so that you can go buy another one.
Right. And here's a great solution too. So let's just say you do close, and 2 or 3 months later you finally sell your departing residence. You've already moved in. Kevin does a great job for you. You get the money you want. And then the liquidity comes to you and you go, hey, you know what? I have a $2 million loan. I didn't want a $2 million loan. I really wanted to put 50% down. We wanted to use the asset or the equity of the property before to put as down payment so we don't have this crazy payment. And so what we'll allow you to do is take that money, push it towards the mortgage that we did for you on your new property, and we'll recast that mortgage. Meaning we'll recalculate what your monthly payment should be now that you paid that principal balance down. There could be a small fee for it. I think it's about $250.
But that's like insignificant in terms of the overall savings from doing it.
Right. And to be honest, it's a very difficult, individualized calculation that needs to be created by one person in a spreadsheet that probably takes about 4 hours. So it's
paying for their time.
Right, the bank's not getting rich off charging you to recast your loan, but the amount of money you're going to save and sleep that you're going to lose by having such a large payment. A lot of banks, you pay that $1 million down, the payment doesn't change. You pay it off earlier, but your payment stays the same. So it's significant to be able to do that. And that gives you a huge advantage, right? Because you're going to lose a contingency of having to sell your house to buy the new one. So now you're approved to buy a new house, maintain your old house for 3 to 6 months, then you can move. Why have another contingency in there?
Right. That'll make sure you get the house that you want the first time you find it, and you won't have to go back to the drawing board over and over and over again.
Right. And another beauty about this program is if you have a home equity line of credit on your departing residence, you could actually use that home equity line of credit as your down payment for your new house.
Right.
And then once it's paid off, it would pay off that home equity line of credit. And the second most beautiful part about it is we're not going to count that debt against you because the house is listed. So if you draw $1 million on your equity line of credit to use as your down payment, that debt doesn't hurt your ratios.
So the bottom line, guys, is there's a bunch of tools out there. It's important to get to know how to use them and how to use them successfully and leverage them to accomplish your goals.